On Second Shot, we tackle 2 new headlines every week to find out what kind of wisdom the world is dishing out today. And we want you to be a part of that. When you see a headline you want to take a second shot at, or if you're looking for advice, or just want to tell us what you think of the show, email us at secondshotcast@gmail.com. If you like what you hear, rate us on iTunes. This helps us move up in the ratings so more people will see us. And if you want to hear more, subscribe to the show so that the new episodes will get straight to you every single Friday. We love you. Thanks for listening, and enjoy.
There's a lot of news in the world today.
News that might surprise you, startle you, upset, or maybe impress.
News that's not always for the faint of heart.
That's why the man who failed his way to success, Heath Oakes, is stepping up.
Tackling today's headlines with ignorance on fire in a way only a millennial mogul can.
Take off your sport coat, grab a beer, and enjoy the conversation.
This is Second Shot with your host, Heath Oakes.
We're just whistling all before the show because we got a great day here. My beautiful wife and better half, Jenny Ann Chando's in the studio. What's up, Jenny?
Hey, babe. Well, I've been practicing my whistling. Do you guys want to hear?
Please do.
She cannot whistle at all. It is so funny. She always is like, I'll whistle, and then I'll walk away, and you'll see her over there like trying to do it, going.
It's a skill. You got to work up to it.
That's like a lot of air with a little bit of a whistle there.
Just trying to get something going. Yeah, it's coming together.
We got Zach. What's up, Zach?
How's it going here?
Good. We got Matt behind the screen here.
How's it going?
What's up? And
who else we got?
We whistle while we work, and Jenny just blows air all over the thing because not much of a whistle. Now, I will say, you're whistling more. You have more of actual whistle right now than you had a month ago.
Yeah, because a month ago it was just.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I've been trying to teach my wife to whistle for years. She can't do it either. So
I
don't know how to do it. I don't know how to tell you how to.
It's a particular
how to
thing.
whistle. Yeah.
I can't roll my R's, which is always a problem in Spanish.
I can't do that
either.
For me, but teach.
I think whistle's one of those you got to just keep blowing it and stuff, and sooner or later
It'll
starts
come out.
right.
I've been practicing.
Yeah,
it's kind of like
put that on the resume.
Yeah, like I can whistle now.
It's kind of like chewing bubble gum and blowing a bubble, I guess.
Yeah,
so it's kind of a similar. Yeah, you just gotta kind of do it till it works, I guess, and then you're on your way. So
we had one of our old timers on that I met yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
That I saw yesterday again as well. So I had my managers meeting yesterday, all my leaders across territory, and then the people who hit the summit, we took them all to the Rangers game, rented a suite, and had a surprise visit from Chad Prather himself.
So fun. Did they love meeting him?
Yes, Chad and Jade, his wife. They
Jade
both
came out
yeah,
too.
Jade was there too.
Yeah.
They both came up and hung out with everybody and got to have time at the game and stuff. And he's doing much better now. He was sick there for a little while and out. He's back on the road, and today he was hitting it again in Fargo, North Dakota today. So it was a good time everybody had. So
good to hear he's doing all right. He should come back sometime.
Yeah, I told him, and as soon as he's here, he's going to.
Yeah, I love it. All right, well, the listeners can look forward to that, I guess. Surprise Chad Prather.
So we got a very relevant one for, especially this week too, that just is hot off the press, Jenny. Just hot off the press.
Tell me
more. And so let's read this one, Zach, and get it going.
Yes. This happened Wednesday this week, earlier Wednesday. Wednesday evening, I should say. Not the biggest basketball fan, so excuse my French here, but I wanted to talk about LeBron James sinking this incredible putt at the buzzer. I mean,
the putt.
He comes. It's Cavs.
It's not a putt.
Cavs versus the Pacers, right? It's 95-95. Right at the end of the game, LeBron gets the rock. Right at the three-point line. He throws it. The buzzer goes off, and he sinks it. 98-95. The game's over. It was brilliant. The crowd erupts in the stands. Everybody flips out. It was an incredible victory. LeBron said he felt like a kid all over again.
And that's what I love, too, is that headline was, I felt like a kid all over again.
How cool is that?
And, LeBron's in his early 30s, I think, now.
Yeah.
So that most would consider kind of your turning toward, especially when you play as many games as he has.
Yeah. That beard's getting long.
Yeah. But let me ask y'all this. Do y'all think, for 1 minute, I don't care what your thoughts are on LeBron James, nobody, if you don't like him, you have to admit he is the greatest basketball player in the game right now.
Currently.
You can't. Yeah, currently.
You don't think of all time, do you?
Currently.
I can tell you, let me tell you this.
Saying.
I think you can argue him.
Okay.
I think he's absolutely has a solid argument for that. So, but no matter if you don't like him, you know he's great. What do you think in that huddle before they went out there, if they said we're going to give LeBron the ball, what do you think the chances are that everybody on his team felt like they had a good shot at winning?
Well, yeah, I think that it's probably a sense of relief. Even if someone else thought they kind of want the ball themselves, they also want to win the game, and they know that he's a sure bet or more of a sure bet than
Do you think any of them had many doubts that he couldn't do it?
No, because he's so consistent.
Yeah. I'd bet I didn't catch who passed him the ball, but I bet whoever did. Like as soon as they let go, I was like, okay, all right, yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah, that's going to the right place.
Yeah.
So you were talking about how this kind of can relate to all of us in our own careers. Of course, we're not
and personal lives,
NBA, but yeah.
And what I think about it, and I want to I'm going to get to the minute part, the little bitty sections, the little bitty things. This is the stuff that people don't think about.
Okay.
That I think make a massive, massive difference. So, for instance, your wife says, hey, hon, can you go drop that package off at the mail tomorrow? Because it's got to be there in time. And you go put it in your truck 3 days later. She goes, I hadn't heard that it got there. Did you drop it off? Oh, crap. No, I didn't. Yeah. Okay? And there's something important she needs there on time. You do it again. She asks, hey, can you go drop that mail off? And you don't do whatever. Do you think she has much faith in him if she says anything to do and he says he'll do it? Do you think it's going to get done?
No, you just stop asking.
Exactly.
Which is a little mark in the relationship.
Yes,
like a little.
It is absolutely.
Yeah.
And honest, and I'm being dead serious too. Yeah. And that's what people don't realize is the little bitty thing like that you go, well, that's just a little thing. But that little thing and one other little thing and one more little thing will slowly build up to a snowball of distrust in general. Because it all affects all aspects of trust. Because if you can't trust somebody's going to accomplish something and get something done, then it snowballs into all areas of, well, I don't believe you. I don't, yeah, you say you're going to do that, but it never gets done. And in our work life, if you're working with coworkers and stuff and somebody's relying on you for one piece to be done, for a project to be finished, and it's got to be finished at 12 o'clock on Friday, when they go, we need to use Jenny for the creative drawing on it, do they go, oh, she'll never be done on time? Mm-hmm. Or do they go, yes, please, because it counted in? And what you don't realize is what you may think is, well, it's just a little thing. That is a massive thing. That person will not trust you for a lot of things, not just that one little. It spills over.
Sure.
So the other thing I think about with regard to work with that sort of thing and sort of being that consistent go-to person that is, he's helpful in the way that he wins games. We can be helpful in, like you said, finishing projects, is it's like what you may lack in, say, for example, skills, natural talent, even education, I think you can make up for. It's like you can sort of boost your stock, so to speak, by being the person who's always consistent and by being the person who actually gets stuff done. Because, if you look at like a room of coworkers and it's like this person brings this person brings this. And if you're kind of like, oh, wow, I don't really match up to the rest of them in terms of these other things, the education, the skill set. But I know that I have control over the fact that I'm reliable and what I do well, and they always know they can come to me. It's like you take yourself up another notch even without having the background, just by showing up and performing.
Yeah, well, and it's just coming through when you say you're going to come through. It's a very simple thing. It's and it's like this.
Do you see what I'm saying? No, when you look at like a room of coworkers, you're kind of like, oh, this person is this person is.
Yeah, I'm picking up where you're putting down.
And then you're like, oh wow, okay, but this person, even when I started, I kind of wondered, what does that person even do? And then all of a sudden you realize, well, they do everything from they know where the coffee filters are to they know how to get into the email system to they've got the contacts for the executive at the company we need to get to. And they're elevated.
But it's also this. I want you to honestly think about this, is if you've got that person, you're going to have to email them 3 times to get something that you asked for. You email them and ask them for something. You're going to have to email them 2 more times to remind them. Do you really trust that person?
No. And you stop. Your eyes are open for somebody else you could go to instead.
And you start, if you think about it and think about that person, you really stop trusting them in all areas, because it's the little bitty things. And that's what I don't think people pay attention to. See, a lot of people, how they justify it in their mind is like they forget, the husband forgets to take the mail package. It's just a mail package. Like, calm down. Like, you're being crazy right now. Like, you're getting, that's how they do it. And they justify it's a little thing. But what you don't understand, it's all of the little tick marks that build up to a big thing.
Sure.
And the very simple thing of doing what you say you're going to do, returning somebody's phone call returning a text, you don't understand how important that little thing is that somebody can be counted on. Are you in the group of friends when you're throwing a birthday party for somebody and it goes, hey, Johnny get this, Johnny get that, Jenny get this, da-da-da. Are you the person that the friends go, oh God, somebody's going to have to go get somebody go get the wine because we know Johnny's going to forget it.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that person.
No.
So, babe.
And I don't want to be around those people.
I just have one question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is the mug that I bought for Brittany for her birthday 2 years ago still in the back of your car?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Is there a backstory to follow that?
Well, just he was going to a birthday party. I think I was really pregnant or something at the time, and so I didn't go. And I said, okay, well, here's the gift for Brittany. Will you give it to her? We've seen Brittany. No, it's like a running joke now. We've seen Brittany several times since then and have not given her the cup. However, when I give you the mail to drop off at the UPS, he's like 100 for 100. He always.
But that's I wonder, but it's not that if you screw up from time to time.
No, I know. I'm just kidding.
It's I know, but it is. I want people to understand. It's not if you miss it one time. It's whenever you do it all the time.
Right.
And if you feel like you're that person, like you don't want to be that. Like you gotta, if you really think about the little bitty things that people that annoy you, you're gonna think about those little ones. Or if it's not delivering the mailbox, or somebody's got to always email you to remind you stuff. You're not a trustworthy person. You're going to slowly lose trust. People will lose trust around you. People will not want to be your friends. And all it is very simple stuff. Return a text, return a phone call, and build a system in place to remind you of stuff if you're having those issues. Set a reminder in a calendar. Do whatever you kind of do. But it's more so you got to know that matters.
Sure.
I think that's the most important thing. You got to change it because it does matter. Not dropping off the mail when you say you're going to drop off the mail. Not finishing the project online when you say to. Or not returning the email, not returning the phone call, that matters. In any personal relationship you have, those little tick marks will wear it thin, and you will become somebody doesn't want to be around. So make those changes today more than anything else. Understand it matters. We'll be back in a minute on the second segment of Second Shot.
He's a suit and tie kind of guy with deep Southern roots. Heath Oaks hosts more of Second Shot coming up on RNCN.
To all of my friends in the great state of Texas, if you have not taken advantage, I have a way to save you a ton of money. I have saved over about $3,000 in the last year, and I have no hassle. Go to energyogre.com, put in the promo code SECONDSHOT. Now listen, promo code SECONDSHOT, and you're going to get a free month just for signing up and saving a ton of money. So don't be crazy. Stop sitting around talking about is this the real deal, and go do it right now. energyogre.com, promo code SECONDSHOT, and a free month. Thanks. Go get it now. Run.
Ready? Aim. Fire. Second Shot is back for another round on RNCN.
I can tell you this. I'm not going to forget ever dropping a mail package off after I've run my mouth as much as I have right now.
I know.
Like that's one of those things that I have a feeling
For
will be
real.
thrown on Instagram and Facebook, everything, as soon as I forget a mail package.
Oh, she's got it on video now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's recorded.
I
written
do.
down.
Well, I mean, I'm such an Amazon orderer, and
Yeah.
I do every subscription service there is, so I am mailing a lot.
You don't forget anything.
I don't.
No. She's
Is that a
No, that's a
compliment?
very
Like
much
I
so-
do what
no,
I say when I'm
You always do what you say you're going to do.
Oh, thanks,
Hands
babe.
down, you always do.
Thank you so much.
I mean, it is on point. Like, it's like, honestly, it's like, oh, man, we're out of mini wheats. And like 5 minutes later, mini wheats is delivered to the door. And I'm like, how did that happen?
Because I am
Like,
VP. I am VP inventory.
Oh,
in
Yeah,
the
we give
house.
each other VP roles.
I am VP milk for our baby.
Yep.
I
Okay.
am.
I'm VP of travel.
Yeah, you're VP of travel.
Anybody
VP
goes
of
anywhere, I always
yard.
book all that. I'm
All right.
VP of yard.
I'm VP of interior, just like things, toilet paper, paper towels.
Yeah.
It kind of goes under inventory. But he's VP bills.
Yep.
I'm VP Brighton's wardrobe.
Yep.
Brighton's ward.
So that's how we do it. We set it out of, we know what we got. She counts on it.
We
I
need
count
to
go.
probably name a VP water filter
Yeah,
person.
yep.
We both don't like that.
Well, the only reason I don't is because every time I change it, I screw something up and it leaks water for a couple of days, and I got to fix it all and do it because I guess I'm doing something wrong.
You got it hooked up like a water main? Or
No, it's in the refrigerator.
No, it's in the fridge. It's
really
like every time he
It's really a
changes it.
simple process, but every time I do it, it leaks water somewhere and it drives me nuts.
Oh,
Right.
but Heath changed the faucet the other
Really?
day. Yeah, the
Oh,
water
wow.
wouldn't stop. The water wouldn't stop running. We went to give Brighton a bath.
Yeah.
And so he figured out how to turn off the water to the house and change the whole faucet.
He
Yeah,
knows.
it was broke. It was
So
not.
he's
Impressive.
VP
I love
water
it.
now.
Yeah, VP of water.
Anyway.
Yeah, VP
Speaking
of
of water, this headline is in need of a lot of water.
What a segue. I love
Yeah.
that. Yes. This is a
Really
headline
bad.
concerning the California wildfires, which isn't something we've talked about in this show. At least 28 wildfires are burning as of last Wednesday morning in the southwest and southern plains of the United States. Winds are expected to subside, but they're still going to keep moving around. People in Arizona and New Mexico are getting warnings about these now. California, of course, is still dealing with them. And I spotted this headline, and I sent it to you with the hope we'd talk about it, just because I saw it, and for some reason, the first thing I thought was, this might be good for second shot. My angle is this. We've talked about getting in front of problems before. We've talked about keeping yourself away from problem situations. We've talked about maybe how to handle small problems once they come up and make sure they don't happen again. That was like the rust on the Ferris wheel story. You remember that one. This one is, what do you do when a problem is not only much bigger than you had previously anticipated, but is almost completely out of your control? Because when we talk about these wildfires, this is a national issue. You have firefighters crossing state. I mean, this is a big problem, like big problems.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I mean, there's so much, because it is, how many times in your personal life has something from, you got people with their kids have done something bad and it was somebody else, and now it's a big thing. Everybody knows schools around, right? And you just feel like it's going everywhere, to co-workers at work, to, I mean, you screwed up in your relationship and you feel like it's just spreading like crazy, and everybody's like, what do I do, right? I mean, how many times has that happened?
It happens to everybody, right?
I mean, have you ever felt like things were out of control?
I've never screwed up, first of all.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah.
That's true. You are perfect.
No, I definitely. And you feel very hopeless. It feels like you want to kind of shut in and ignore everybody, block everything out, which is the absolute worst thing you can do.
Yeah. I believe that when things feel like they're out of control, they're spreading like crazy. And like, it's even like, he's spreading, like these people out there trying to fight those fires, right? It's like, it's going crazy. Stop, take a breath, and do one right thing. Stop, take a breath, do one right thing. That's all you can do.
Right how?
One right, like
right towards fixing your problem?
Your wife is mad at you because you've really screwed up and you've done 2 or 3 things, and it's like spreading throughout every community, right? Everybody's knowing about it, and everybody what it is.
Yeah.
Go do the dishes for your wife. Go do the laundry.
Yeah.
Go clean up what you've never cleaned up, what you've always said you would. Show up on time. Mm-hmm. One right thing. I mean, because honestly, that's the thing, is you can't look at it. If you look at any problem as a massive wildfire, you will be paralyzed by you will be overcome with how much to do, and you do nothing, which is the worst thing in the world.
Right.
But that's what people do. They get paralyzed with how much is out of control, and think there's so much they've got to do to make things right that they do nothing, and it never gets fixed.
Oh, this is good,
And so
because
I
it does
believe-
paralyze people.
It does. You get paralyzed. You get sitting there going, look, that wildfire is nuts. It is like out of everything. Like, how do I even begin to contain it? Look, those firefighters, you can tell you what they do. They go, look, let's just fill the helicopter with water and start dropping it. We can do that and let somebody else do one else. And then they go, let's start digging a little bit of a ditch over here. It's like one thing. It may not do it, but you know what? It's better than sitting still.
Right.
And they actually do. That's why for days sometimes on these massive fires, you'll hear a 10% containment. And to the rest of us are like, really? Like, what?
Yeah.
Well, you guys have been out there for days,
Yeah.
but it's little by little by little. And eventually they are able to, surround it or, extinguish in some point. So I think of this, when I heard this, I thought of this more so like on a personal level, like what your personal behavior is when you're really just sinking like that. And I think that a lot of people's natural inclination is to go to more destruction. So like alcohol, that's one thing that I'm glad that I've always naturally been inclined to. I'm only having a cocktail for a celebration.
Yeah.
I don't, if things are not going well, I'm not saying I'm going to go out and get crazy. Oh, I just need to wind down. No, I'm like, get everything under control. I think that the biggest mistake people make is almost if everybody's coming down on them for, something went wrong, is they prove them right.
Yeah,
they
that's
continue
true. To prove them
the
right.
behavior.
Yep.
And, and I think, I'm not an anti-alcohol person,
No.
in appropriate doses, but I think that a big mistake people make is sort of the drowning your sorrows kind of thing, just
Yes.
because it doesn't help anything. First of all, you're wasting the time that the hour that you're having with the cocktail or complaining about the situation is time that could be spent fixing it. Then you've got the potential hangover and just the lack of mental clarity and all of these things that are only going to make
Then you
that
show up to
problem
work and you're
worse.
hungover and the boss starts writing you up
and then
and
they
next thing you know
prove
you
it.
lose your job.
And it spirals. It's
Yep.
true. It really does spiral. And you've kind of done it to yourself by the woe is me and that everyone's out to get me and they kind of sheltering in.
But that is paralyzed. That's what I'm saying. That's what people. That is what I talk when somebody
So
is
you're saying
paralyzed.
get out and just do the one thing.
Yeah, because that's what people
Start.
do. Paralyzed is they turn to alcohol. They do all those things. They're just sitting there woeing in themselves, turn into all these destructive matters because it looks too far out of control to do anything. What you got to realize when something is wild and out of control, it is not going to be fixed overnight. It is not going to be fixed tomorrow, the next day, or whatever. It's going to take time. And so one right thing at a time will move you one step closer. There's nothing they can do to that wildfire to go get. There's no massive enough helicopter to blanket enough water in one pour to put that fire out, correct? What it comes from is all these fire departments all over that country, one digging a little ditch here, one digging a ditch there, one helicopter at a time dropping water slowly contains the fire. Do not paralyze and look at the massive picture of screw-ups that's done. Do one right thing.
And then people get behind you because they see you doing the one right thing too, and then you've got to get some help.
That's the thing. See, that's what people don't understand is when you do one right thing, and I'm talking about simple stuff. I'm talking about like literally doing the laundry. If your wife's really pissed at you because you've really screwed up and stuff's gotten massively big, your kids are mad at you, screwed up big time, all this. Look, go do the laundry. So when she comes home, the laundry's done, right? Like if you've never done that. Like the things that you don't do one right thing for your kids. Like if you've never been there, a part of your kid's life, and they can constantly count on you being the one that doesn't show up to something when you say you are, show up to it.
Right. That
Okay?
spiral of success is easy to... It can go in reverse, too.
Yes.
You have one day where you do nothing, and the next day you wake up and you're like, well, I didn't do nothing. I didn't do anything yesterday.
Yes.
Why bother doing anything today?
It's like when people start a diet.
Exactly.
And they screw up once, and then they just figure, well, I'm going to eat bad the rest of the day. Well, now you're even worse off.
The car starts to fishtail, and suddenly you're off the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it goes in reverse. Yeah, if you do one right thing before you know it, you start to get back on track.
Well, because what you don't understand is when you do one right thing and one right thing and one right thing, like Jenny said, people get behind you. Then you have champions in your corner. Then you have people encouraging you. And it makes that one right thing easy to do 10 right things. Because it's tough when you're by yourself and you go turn to an alcohol and you go turn to a drug and you go turn to being a paralyzed and being a bigger piece of crap. Then let me tell you what happens. Nobody's behind you, and it's very easy to go backwards very, very fast and be extremely destructive. But what you don't understand is the one little right thing, and then the champions you start having behind you, that's when things get easy fast because you got a group of people believing you because you showed them that you're somebody that can be counted over that can do one right thing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I love it.
I just truly believe that, and the one right thing with your coworkers, with anybody that you've done wrong, that you've lied to, and it's all out of fire. When I talk about one right thing, I'm talking about very simple stuff. Don't overcomplicate it. Just do the laundry. Just at work, just clean your desk off, right? If it's driven people nuts, if you've always been late, just be on time, right? If your coworkers ask for something, just do the one little right thing. If they hate you and trust you, it's going to take time, but you will gain that over by doing one right thing. Do not let yourself be paralyzed. Do not let yourself get out of looking at the massive picture of things out of control and think you can handle it all at once, because it's impossible to do. But one right thing after one right thing after one right thing will gain you a follower of successful people that are going to be championing you behind it all. So do one right thing, and I believe that you'll take that wildfire and it'll be slowly caused in. We'll be hearing about them extinguished in no time. So we got some interesting emails. We'll be back in a minute on the third segment of Second Shot.
Now that's what I call ignorance on fire. More of Second Shot with Heath Oakes still to come. You guys have been listening to Second Shot and hearing us talk about it. You need to go pick up my book, Ignorance on Fire, A Journey of Failing Your Way to Success. You can get it on Amazon in paper book. You can also hear this beautiful voice of mine in audiobook style on Audible or anywhere you're going to get your audiobooks. Guys, this book took a lot of time to put into it, and I believe it can really be some life-changing stuff to help you on your path to success. And hopefully you're going to fail your way to success just like I did. Ignorance on Fire, A Journey of Failing Your Way to Success. Amazon.com, Audible.com, audiobooks, paper books, everything. Get it, share it with your people, and I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Go pick it up today.
Kick off your boots or suit up. The choice is yours. Welcome back to Second Shot on RNCN.
Well, we always have all like the most fun topic. Like, I wonder if there was like a mic dropped in and just recorded kind of as soon as we go off the air and stuff, because I think we always have very interesting conversations as well.
Matt, you probably record that, right? You probably just leave that rolling.
Yeah, let's
yes,
not.
I mean it is
Yeah.
it is on the file. I delete it, but it is there.
It does exist for a moment.
Yeah, that'd be one of those things like that news anchor in that got caught, the off-camera deal that they
Lawrence
put it out.
O'Donnell, is that him?
remember?
Yeah.
Kind of speaking of news anchors, you
Speaking
like
of
that
news
role anchor,
anchors,
huh?
So he's in the segues today. I
Yeah,
love that.
he's
good
getting
stuff.
himself his
Yeah.
own news anchor
Wow.
job
Yeah.
with the cheesy
I dig it.
segues.
Cheesy man, just
No,
throwing
babe.
me under the
Opportune
table.
is what they are. That's right.
Man, I wanted you to get a chance. I mean, you've been on the show several times. Everybody knows you're my wife, and that you've been on the show, and that also kind of your little career path changes here lately. But I wanted you to give a shot to tell the listeners kind of your career change.
Well, yeah, because
what's going
hopefully
on.
some of them can watch. So and I've talked about this a little bit. I've worked as a journalist for about 15 years at TV stations all over the country. I've worked for NBC, Fox, CBS, different, all over the place. So I actually just left my regular job about a month and a half ago and just started a new project on a syndicated national morning show called Morning Dose, which is based in Texas, which is where we are. So it's like could not be more perfect. So I'm just kind of freelancing there, filling in, seeing how it goes. But if you are in, let's see, Dallas, Houston, DC, Philly, Miami, Quad Cities, then you get the show. So if you want to tune in, check it out.
But Morning Dose, it's on the CW channel.
Mm-hmm. And it's a fun morning show. It's really like one of those where we do all the local headlines. So each city gets its own local news. And then we all do the big national stories. So like today we're talking about Comey. I mean, we do all the basic big stuff, but we don't repeat it a bunch. And then we talk about fun stuff.
And it's more of a modern
Pop
type
culture,
deal because
yeah.
it's really driven by social media trends and social media stuff. So it's a much more of a more modern news type of show than a regular local news.
Well, yeah, because for decades, news is the top stories. It's just what the people at the news station think should be the top stories. But now we have social media, which can tell us what people are actually interested in.
Yeah.
So instead of us telling you what you think about and what you care about, you tell us what you think about and care about, and then we expand on that. If that makes sense. Sure. It's a really cool concept.
Now, this is different for her because,
totally
see, look,
different.
she has been it's been the regular morning
news.
local hard news behind that desk. You're doing the deal. This is, it's in couches. It's like there is no anchor
I get
desk.
to give some opinions
wow.
on
Yeah, it's
not
conversation.
necessarily news. I don't give political or those types of opinions, but you do give opinions about more of the pop culture stuff, the fun stuff, the sort of social talker type stories. So it's been
On top of
fun
news.
to expand my repertoire.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's so funny. I was sitting there laughing because she was like so nervous for the first. I'm like, Jenny,
so nervous.
how long have you been doing this?
Yeah.
But it's
like
different.
a long.
Wow.
And I go, stop. It's so funny, but it's cool. We were talking about it too, though. It's fun to have that nervous feeling. Like,
Right.
Yes,
like
I
when you-
missed
Oh,
that.
sure. Yeah.
like.
I had really missed that. Yeah, because I had just been doing the same thing for so long, and
Yeah.
I really craved a career sort of like injection of nervousness, you know,
Yeah.
of a new challenge, of wondering, gosh, how's this going to go? It
Yeah.
kind of feels good.
And
love it. Yeah,
having
shake
to
it up.
open up some, like, it's like even like all of her news anchor wardrobe, she can't even, like, it's got to be a change of wardrobe. It's a different
Oh, really?
deal.
Oh,
Like, it's-
wow.
Yeah, because it's a more modern show. It's
Okay,
like
yeah.
standard issue anchor dress, anchor hair is like that same kind of,
I hate to say I've got an image in my head,
Do
but
you
I
see what I'm
totally do.
saying?
Yeah, now that you said
Yes.
it, I'm like, yep, I can imagine a million anchors, and they're all kind of looking the
we
same.
all kind of look the same.
Sure.
So this is much more, you can kind of do your own style, your own fashion, your own vibe. And it's, strangely enough, it's harder to let your personality out because I'm so used to kind of keeping it at bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been released.
That and
I'm free.
and you got to juggle working with a new crew, right? People you're not super,
Totally.
you don't really have that chemistry worked out yet, so that can be a little stressful.
And it's a more conversationalist type show. So
Yeah.
before, you honestly didn't, at Herald stuff, you didn't really have to have that much of a relationship with them because y'all were just reading kind of your news because the joking was very, very limited versus
Right.
this is a lot of conversation. So it's even more important.
Yeah, and it's also important to know, like, how do you get to the station? Where's the restroom? Where's it? All those different things when you start a new job that we've all been through, and you're like, oh my gosh, does anybody like me? I took them cookies the first day, so hopefully that.
She took
Smart
cookies
move.
with so morning dose on the CW.
Yeah.
If you're in Philly, Washington D.C., Houston, Dallas, Miami, in the Quad Cities, Washington.
Oh, in Portland. I forgot
Portland.
Oregon.
Portland, Oregon.
Yes,
Wow.
shout out to Portland. My
Yeah.
brother and his girlfriend watched. I mean, it's been fun. My aunt has been watching in Miami. I've never been on a national show, so that's a cool.
Yeah, so
That's
the
really
CW,
exciting.
y'all go tune in, check her out.
Thanks, babe.
I think it's fun. I love hearing the excitement in her voice again about it, right? The nervousness. I love that. You can tell she's fired back up, like it's fun,
Sure.
like she's having fun again. And
Yeah, and you're right in that like honeymoon phase
Yeah.
of the new gig
Yeah.
where it's like every day is exciting and
Yes,
new, and you're not just
yes.
beaten down like a nail in a board. Yeah, I love it. It's good stuff.
Well, you got
got a
you've been
couple
getting a
emails.
lot of really good response to the podcast, by the way.
Yeah, we got a
Yeah.
couple good emails here. We'll just give a shout out to Wes Lawrence. Actually, no, Wes is a part of my team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
gotcha.
he sent a serious
So
headline.
he had to send the email
Yeah,
in. He's like,
yeah.
oh man, he's my boss.
It's a good one.
He sent a serious headline in, and we don't do serious headlines. Wes, you know this.
Wes.
But
You
shout out to
joker.
Wes.
But shout out Wes, and he said, "I love your show. Maybe one day I'll join you." Wes, you become ADM of the year. Remember, I told you.
Really?
You get there. You'll come on in. But Wes,
Pressure's
thanks for sending the email.
It's funny. I looked at that email, and the first thing I thought, because it's so concise and so simple and candid, all I thought was like, I wonder if there's somebody Heath knows. Yeah, this seems like a bit, and so that's very sweet of him to send it in, though.
Yeah.
Very cool. Thanks, Wes.
The next one, this is a good one. This is funny too. Okay, so this is from Jody Hansen. Shout out Jody. Send a deal to follow up on the stolen fajitas.
Dun, dun, dun.
The stolen fajita story,
So-
which somehow has become enamored in second shot history.
Yes, it has been.
Multiple people were involved in the fajita thing. Like, because when this
I got
came out,
so many
Everyone
emails
thought
about it.
Yeah.
of Heath when they
yeah,
thought of the
everybody
stolen
thought, oh, second
fajitas.
shot and Heath Oaks.
Yes.
Yeah, the fajita story, of course.
So she said, "Hello, Second Shot Cast. First off, I want to say that I'm a huge fan of the show. You guys make me smile each week.
Aw.
I believe in the power of positivity. If I'm ever having a bad day, turning on your podcast instantly helps to shift my mood." She said, "I saw this article pop up today. It's a follow-up on the stolen fajita story. The episode made me laugh when I saw this article, so I wanted to send it in." So just so everybody knows, if you haven't been caught up on some of the other ones, is we did a headline shot on the guy who stole about $1.2 million worth of fajitas over 10 years at his job and finally got caught.
yeah.
So the update on this was he just was sentenced to 50 years in prison.
50 years.
50 years in prison. So I've literally I've probably gotten so many emails from people that go, "Oh my God, the stolen fajita story
I
is
love
back."
that they think
true.
of you with
I
the
know.
stolen
I know.
It's great.
We need to see if we can get this guy in the show from the county penitentiary.
I know.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
The
Skype
exclusive.
him in.
Call in from the payphone.
Skype him in.
His one phone call
yeah,
is the second
we'll hear on
shot.
there, like, put in another quarter, please.
Oh, I love it. But then she went on to this one, which had made me stop for a minute and think. She said, "Heath, I have a faith-based question for you. I've been a Christian for half my life. Although now at age 33, my faith is reaching a deeper level. Do you believe God has a plan already laid out for us, as in he opens and closes doors, or do you believe we make our own destiny? Question mark. Thanks for being such a bright light in the world." Thank you, Jody. Thank you for the email. Thank you for, just everything about your email, your thoughtfulness, everything. I appreciate it, and I'm glad. I love to hear that whenever it does make an impact on somebody, because it makes it worth it to continue to take the time to do this when you get people like that it really helps. Now, you also asked a very deep question.
No small question there.
Do you believe
that's a
God
big one.
has a plan already laid out for us, as in he opens and closes doors, or do you believe we make our own destiny? So, here's what I would say. I believe that God gave us free will, that we have free will to make decisions. He is not going to make every decision for us. I do believe that God, just like any parent, like for your kid, right? Like if you have a kid, I want Brighton to be a race car driver really bad. Okay,
Yeah.
that's just true. I do.
That's not happening.
I mean,
Did you see that sweet new thing she's riding around in?
I know.
I mean, how about
so
that?
I'm going to open as many doors as possible to give her a chance to race cars.
Sure.
She still has the option to make a decision on if she wants to go open those doors to race cars or she doesn't.
Yeah,
right?
whether or not they're garage doors.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make her. I'm not gonna make her do that. Okay, I'm not gonna make her. Yeah, that was good.
Sorry, Matt and Jenny started laughing. Excuse me. Yeah, I
that was
apologize. Thank you.
that was actually really good.
I wanted to pat myself on the back
that
for
was
that.
good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make her make that decision.
Yeah.
She's got free will to do it. I think God is our Father, that He does that as well. I believe that I like to think that He kind of has that same kind of silliness that I do about Brighton, as in I wanted to be a race car driver. Come on, be a race car driver.
Sure.
like I'm gonna throw the little Maserati in your face really young. Like you want to be a race car. You know what I mean? Like I like to picture my God as funny. I like to picture Him as kind of having a and so I think He has that like. I want you to be this, and He's going to set those opportunities up there, but you got to take them.
Yeah.
He's not going to pick up your left leg, your right leg, and make those for you. Mm-hmm. He's not going to make you go left because He wants you to. I believe that you have to make that decision yourself.
Right.
And I think that's what makes everything unique and makes God unique in so many ways, which is that He gives us the free will and wants to lead us, so we make those decisions. That's just my thought process around it, which is those old things like you get slapped in the head over and over with decision you should make, and you keep going, well, I wish He'd give me a sign. And when you really look at it, He's giving you like 10. That's Him opening like the 10 row of doors that He really probably wants you to do. But He's there on the other side, there's still 5 other doors open that you can actually make that decision, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that He guides you and leads you and puts things in your way, but you still have to make that decision. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. I hope she'll have to write in and
what's your thought on that?
Yeah, I'm with you. I tend to sometimes not get the hint quite right away with regard. You've said that to me before, because I'm that person. I wish God would give me a sign, and He's like, like how you've been beaten over the head with this sign, and. So it is interesting to think back on the choices, and I've thought about many times in my life when I didn't understand why things were happening in a certain way, and I do believe that was a part of God's plan for me. Things that might have been really difficult and or treacherous and or painful, and then I realized, okay, that was a part of the plan, and I am glad that I had faith that ultimately, I would learn something from it and or come out on top.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I as Steve Jobs says in his quotes, which is, you can never connect the dots forwards, you can only connect them backwards. And I think that's what faith is that when you're in those moments, you got to have faith that it's all for a reason. And so, but you've got to make those decisions. I don't believe that God makes you a robot for Him. You are free will to make your decisions. He'll open the doors. You got to decide to make them or not. And if you're listening closely enough to Him, you're going to make the decisions that He wants. And He's not going to condemn you to hell if you make the wrong one. Okay? That's not going to happen. That's just not what it is. So, but that was a good question. That was a very thoughtful question, Jody.
Very thoughtful answer, Heath. Yeah, well done.
I actually, that one kind of got me a little bit. I'm like, oh, this one can be, you can cross lines real fast,
Yeah, it takes
it
takes a tough man to craft a tender answer.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, so,
I like that.
Well, thank you for coming on, hon.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was
It's
fun.
always
I
better.
love Second Shot.
It's always better having you.
Oh.
So tell them where they can find you.
Okay, so, the show is called Morning Dose, by the way, that we mentioned if you are there. So it's at Morning Dose TV. But you can find the links on my pages at Jenny and Chondo TV on Twitter. And then search Jenny and Chondo, ANCHONDO, on Facebook and Instagram. And Instagram stories, if you guys want to see behind-the-scenes stories of Heath, go to my Instagram. I'm constantly doing embarrassing behind-the-scenes videos of him.
I've got to check that out.
Which is just so much fun.
Where can they find you, Zach?
You can find me at AppleZacintosh on Twitter and Instagram. I'm trying to get into it.
Ooh,
I'm
yeah.
weird about it. It's
All
tough
right.
for me. I don't do my life in pictures. I'm a radio guy. That's me. But it's great. At AppleZacintosh, yes.
At Heath, folks, at Ignorance on Fire. You can look me up. I love you guys. Have a good one. See you next time.
You're listening to RNCN, the digital destination for premium talk radio.